Welcome back to the channel, guys, and as you know, on weekends I like to review the trading week, what was, how the actual pair moved, or in particular pound yen, how it moved, what trades you could have probably taken quite profitably, and what the week ahead might have in store for us, and give it a bit of like an overview, kind of general review and chart analysis for anyone who's new to trading. So if you haven't already, guys, if you're finding value in these videos, drop me a like. It's free. I really appreciate it if you do. Would love it if you did as well. Don't forget to subscribe, because it means that more people get to view this video and I get to help a bit more people out there with their trading journey. Now, as I said, I like to kind of sit back first of all on weekends and review what actually happened with the trading week itself. So as you know, I spend my time trading pound yen. That's literally all I trade. So I get to spend quite a bit of time understanding it, how it moves, and get to kind of take the trades based off that. So let's kind of zoom in here. So this is kind of like the general what's been happening with pound yen for the past kind of month and a half, almost 2 months. So we'll kind of zoom in here so we can just look at this week a bit more closely. So I kind of already highlighted just here where the pair opened for the week. So you can kind of see we've been kind of keeping an eye on a few spots in this 142.20 area. So this was based off of a daily zone over here where it's kind of exhausted and had a major move down, and then we also had that 4-hour area of resistance just up here, which is price actually struggled moving across. So it opened the week around, I think it was just here somewhere. Sorry, just here. So opened the week just here. As you can see, it kind of moved up higher, retested this area, then came down, and then it came to this other area of support. So just this area kind of here. So I'll just kind of highlight that there for you so you can see it a bit more clearly. So you can see price came up, tested and respected this resistance area, came down, tested this support and moved higher for the rest of the week. Now there's actually a few spots you could have actually taken a trade during this week. And as I always say, I kind of look at the overall trend on the daily, then kind of drop down to the 4-hour, we'll look at market structure, and then try to take trades on the 15 or 30 minute time frame. So currently looking at the 4-hour, you can see it's got a nice kind of pin bar rejection off that this area of support, once resistance, now support. It's already tested it once before as well and kind of flowed between that area. Now I didn't actually take this trade, but it wasn't actually a bad trade to take. You can see off this 1-hour zone just here, kind of completely engulfed and then kind of kept coming up higher. I was actually expecting it to kind of continue lower during the week. I actually wanted to kind of come to here, if not lower again. So I was kind of sitting on the sideline a lot of time this week because bit of market uncertainty in my eyes. So as you can see, tested this zone of support, came up, finally broke above this area of resistance, and came up to the high of that 142.6, 142.8 area, which is that wick of that candle over here. Let's just bring this over here a bit. So it actually finally came up and tested and broke past that area just there's a 142.7. As I said in the video last week, I was expecting to kind of fill this area completely before coming back lower. Unfortunately, you can actually see that it didn't actually kind of come lower from that spot. So it kind of came up, rejected, tested this area of support again, and then shot off higher for the rest of the week. And you can see there's an area I actually took a trade off. It rejected that this area quite nicely, and I took a trade. So it dropped down to the 30-minute time frame. You can kind of see just here. You could actually take it over here as well if you wanted, but it'd probably a bit more time in the market then. But yeah, this one just here, it kind of came down, rejected, closed higher, and then just completely took off after that. Kind of created a bit of a W pattern there, so it kind of came down, came up, came back down, then bang, off it went. Now, as you can see, I had a 20 pip stop loss for this one, for a 45 pip, for 40 pip kind of return. That's that 2-to-1 risk reward I was saying you should look for all the time with your trades. In saying that, I only took a very small position on that trade because to me, I still had the bias that it was going to come down lower. And it was the trades which were kind of working, or what I was working off, wasn't really kind of giving me an indication to go higher, or it wasn't kind of, that risk reward wasn't suitable enough for me, because as I said, I want that 2-to-1 risk reward, and most of my trades I try to have at least a 40 pip stop loss. So had I had a 40 pip stop loss, let's drag that out to there, it's at 40 pips. You can see going to the top of that candle there, previous high there, it didn't really kind of, well, that's one-to-one kind of thing, so it's not really that risk reward I was looking for. Had you look to take it up to this area of 143.35, that would have given you that risk reward of 2-to-1. And the reason why I start looking at this area just here, that 143.35, let's jump up to the daily time frame and I'll zoom out. So that's that blue line just here, so I'll kind of drag this over here. It was an area where it kind of showed some resistance in the past, so I'll get rid of that. So that was just an area I was on. I'll drag this out so I can actually drop down to the 4-hour time frame, then zoom into that area. There it is. So you can see here, in this area it had a few spots where it did exhaust, and also kind of, so exhausted and came down. Then it was like a bit of a, so it was a resistance initially, finally broke through, became a bit of a support area again, broke down again, came up, bit of a resistance again, then obviously finally broke through. So let's kind of just clean that up a bit more so you can see it more clearly. There you are. So you see it came up, respected, came up again, respected again, tested again, finally broke through. Bit of a mess in this area just here, tried breaking lower, kind of came up higher, respected again, came support, came higher, couldn't break this area here, tested again, then finally dropped through, came up, and you can see support resistance as it's kind of coming up through that area. So it was an area I was kind of just keeping an eye on as an area which could have been take profit. So coming back over here, broke above this area of resistance, became support, took off and went straight up to there, respected it a little bit. So I was actually thinking it was going to come lower from here to come, actually I'll give some arrows here. I wanted it to actually respect that and come back down to test that. So that's why I was actually looking for that. So I actually had a loss there on that trade. As you can see, it kind of came up higher again. Yeah, so that's pretty much the trading week. So sorry if I'm making a bit of gibberish. It does make sense if you've been trading a little while and you kind of see what I'm talking about. So for the week ahead, what I'm actually expecting it to do, I do want it to kind of come back down to test this area just here. So depending on how this opens next week, I'm hoping it comes down, test this area of where that wick was, where the old resistance, now support, before going higher to this area here. But in saying that, how it's kind of closed, it's still above that 143.35 area, so it could actually open and go higher initially, and then might see a rejection in this area here. So as you might know, I do spend a lot of my time looking at price action in areas of support and resistance. I don't necessarily use fibs explicitly because a lot of times the extensions and retracements do work out into these areas of support and resistance zones. So that's what I'm kind of looking for the week ahead. I'll actually leave that up there so you can actually kind of see. So kind of either come down to there before heading higher again, or heading higher initially, and then potentially coming lower. So let's drop up to the daily, or let's go to the weekly. And the reason why I'm looking at that area as a area of support resistance, so you can kind of see here, it has respected this area in the past. It actually made a massive impulse move down. It hasn't been tested yet, so it could actually come up to that area. I'm going to get rid of these so it's a bit cleaner. So yeah, so it hasn't tested that area yet. So I am expecting it to kind of actually come up there, potentially break through it a little bit before coming down, and once it actually comes down, it might actually come to like this area just here somewhere, or lower again. But like I said, first I want to see how it actually responds to this area at the top at that 144.5 zone. So that's why I'm looking at that area of interest. So I hope that's given you a bit of a better indication of what I look for, and what I look for when price moves during the week. So as I was saying, I start with like high time frames, usually daily or weekly, see where the areas of support and resistance are, then break it down to the daily time frame, 4-hourly time frame, and then look for entries on either the 15 or 30-minute time frames to enter a trade. So I hope that's made it a bit clearer. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Drop a comment below. As I said earlier on, I would really appreciate if you gave me a like and also give me a follow on this page. It doesn't cost anything, and that means I can kind of reach more people who I may be able to help a little bit more with their trading or other wealth creation strategies and personal finance and things like that. As well as that, I'm not a licensed finance advisor, so do just take this as my opinion. It is basically my opinion. If you do want further financial advice, go seek a financial professional. Cheers guys, catch you soon.